Hey, it's Tom from Tom's Toons. We are back with another double-decker restoration project. This boat came all the way from Tennessee
Go Bells
up to Michigan for us to restore it. It's a 1992 JC, 24 foot long, 8.5 foot wide. We're gonna change this boat completely to make it look like a new boat again and to keep that nostalgia because it's been in the family since it was new. From the outside, you can see these are the JC. It's an older style railing. Nothing super fancy to them. They're usually unanodized, a lot of times a little thinner diameter, but it has that outdated 1992 look. We're going to rearrange and move that upper deck slightly to make our new layout work on this 24-foot boat. Being that's 8.5 foot wide, that's an important thing to remember if you're restoring your boat, is measure the width of the plywood that's on the boat already, because that's going to play in big when you order your flooring kit. As you can see, it's got the original blue carpet. We've got the classic JC seats, wood bases. The new seats that we're putting in are going to be all plastic bases, so no risk for rot. It actually looks like some stuff's been replaced in here over time. We're going to stick with the same layout. We might move this upper deck a little bit if we need to. Ladder's going to stay in the middle. If we look at the console, it's not even bolted down. That's an interesting one. So we'll make sure that the new console, it's a large console we're going to use, fits better and is bolted properly to the floor. We're going to go with a stern entry as much as possible here. We'll have to look at how it all lays out when we see how the uprights play in, because these uprights are bolted into the railing, believe it or not, really sturdy. They're not even bolted to the floor, just tied into the railings. But this back piece is really unique to this boat. It's actually tied into the side railing and then this back railing piece that goes down, so nothing goes to the floor in this back one. We may be rebuilding these uprights altogether depending on how they play in to the new railings that are going on. That's the starting point. We're going to tear this thing down, take it apart, and rebuild it from the pontoons up, including a third pontoon. So a lot of people are doing that right now these days, converting a pontoon to a tritoon. We're going to show you that process too on this build. Good news for me on this boat is that this console is not even bolted down. Saved me a little bit of time that way. Control box is on the railing. That's pretty easy. And everything's been unhooked from the motor. All I need to do is pop this panel off. If you ever experience stuff like this, one fly in. That's just a screw with a snap on it. So I'm gonna pull that out. It'll usually be a couple inches long. I gotta pull all those out all the way around, just a handful of them. And then I get access to everything inside of this console. So pretty straightforward. Should go pretty smoothly, I think. This is a notable here, guys. This is a rack and pinion steering system. Not something you usually see on a pontoon boat. Usually it's a rotary. In fact, out of 60 or so boats that we've done in the last couple of years, this is the first rack and pinion. Totally different steering cable. This is all coming out anyway, but something to note, you may see this. It's just something you're not going to deal with often. We're just going to take this cable part off with these 4 bolts, get it out of there so we can uninstall this easier. But this is a big sketchy no-no. This is a small stainless bolt with a nut on it connecting a whole bunch of grounds. If you're going to do something like this, make a proper ground block, something out of wood, something that's safer instead of this floating around. It could catch, touch a power, you could short, just a number of things that could go wrong. So please don't do this on your own boat, on your own project. If you're going to do this, put a block of wood against the console, secure everything with a bolt to that. That's fine, but don't do it like this. So we're cutting all this out. The console is going. We're going to keep moving along.
Let's talk about Marty's socks first.
Yeah. What does he got?
Pizza.
We got, that's my least favorite thing to do.
Why?
Other than underskinning. Underskinning, still the worst. Because it's sketchy. How do you feel like that went?
That actually went very well.
We love you guys from Tennessee, and you know what you did here. We already looked at it. But this is a quick little learning lesson. Don't attach your strap to your cross member because this is mangled. We get to replace this cross member now. So ideally, perfect world, we would run a piece of flat stock aluminum all the way from that cross member to this cross member to this cross member, leave a hole at the front to strap this to, then we don't pull all that pressure.
Marty's still got his pizza socks on. What's that?
It's garbage, but very flammable.
Oh. What's this cutie pie right here?
So
Look at that, baby.
we caught Marty drinking on the job.
Gentlemen, how long has this been in your boat?
Let's see.
It's on the floor along the gas tank.
Right down there.
Oh, look at. Wow! May 9th, 2007.
Yes.
That was the born on date. This might be a classic. We might have to keep this as a souvenir.
Yeah. Unless you want to drink it. I'll give you $10.
In the form of 2 5s or a $1 $10 bill?
10 ones.
Well, if it was 2 5s, I would have taken the deal. If I make this in the red tote,
Yeah.
you get taco salad tonight and a big margarita.
You missed on purpose.
Double or nothing.
Yes. That's 2 margaritas.
I don't think I can emphasize this enough, but if you have a 20 to 30-year-old pontoon boat and you think your wood's in good shape, please give it some second thought, because that's like halfway down, just rotten. This was under furniture, so it stayed wet, but you don't want to put brand new flooring on wood that looks like this. I sure don't. The other fun thing about this wood is this is clearly treated plywood, and if you look at the top, it's marine grade, it's sanded, there's no voids. There will be no reaction, nothing significant. This was a freshwater boat, but there will be no reaction between these boards and this aluminum other than a little bit of white dust at the most.
Yeah, you can kind of see it on this side.
Just a teeny bit. Yeah, so there's some of that. That's the corrosion that's happened in 31
90s.
years.
Yeah.
92 to now. So if you're worried about putting marine grade green wood on your boat, don't be. If you're in saltwater, things might be different, but don't cheap out. Buy marine grade treated. Do it once, do it right. So what we're gonna do here, I won't make you watch the whole thing, but we're gonna time ourselves how fast we can pull every screw out of this 24-foot deck. We're gonna time it, 3 of us cranking it, getting the wood off, see how fast we can get this stripped down. 3, 2, 1, go. We just got to fish out a couple of the stainless screws. I think there's 3 of them. Let's use that with some pliers. Do that with pliers. And we got to pull the steering cable, and then this boat's going to be put on hold until we get the center pontoon in later this week. Because this boat is becoming a Tritoon, this transom has to be taken off. It's just a series of bolts in the cross members. These skin panels here are pretty common. These will be replaced, there's one on each side, will be replaced with a really nice heavy structural piece across the very back. And then I'll probably, because we're putting 150 horse on this, we're gonna go ahead and add another cross member here to make sure that we get enough support. So that's pretty common for us. If we're gonna add a third pontoon, we might even add another support here, and then likely in the very front up there, we'll add a couple extra pieces just to reduce any twist. So this boat, it'll probably be about a 30-mile-an-hour boat, maybe 25, big heavy thing, upper deck. So we're gonna do the best we can to make sure that it lasts for another 30 plus years with that third pontoon and the new 150 Pro XS Merc that's going on it. Transoms off. We'll have to put another cross member across there, like I mentioned. If you're hesitant about stripping your whole boat down, here's a reason to do so, rather than just taking off the old carpet and putting vinyl on the old wood. In a whole bunch of spots on this boat, this is a 7/16 bolt with no washer. It's like buried down in the cross member. It should be a 5/16 beefier with washers, lock washers. So what we're gonna do is go ahead, there's one here, there's another one up here. We're gonna go ahead and make sure those are all replaced with proper hardware, stainless. We'll use nylocks so they can't come undone. My guess is somebody got under here a long time ago and saw all those undone or fell out, and they replaced them with what they had, which worked, but we've got it apart. We're gonna take advantage and go ahead and replace those. And while we're at it, we'll tighten up all these other ones. They do have lock washers, but why not strip down? Let's make sure it's ready to go.